Palito. So today's adventure is a bus. Trying to find a little place I saw on a map, and either I'm in the wrong location or it's not here anymore. So we're gonna tell two stories. Two stories. One my mother actually had told us about something happened to us when we were young, and another story that actually happened to me. Both of them are has an old brown chair um, involved. So go find me somewhere to sit down and I'll tell you stories. Years ago, we had an old brown chair. I'm not sure what they're called. Wingback chairs. When you're young, everything seems to be huge, and probably the chair is no more than 4.5, 5 feet tall. But when we were oh man, 10, 11, 12 years old or so, you could actually walk behind the chair, and it would you could hide it behind it. That's how big it was. Anyway, we lived in a house on a street called Ojiman. I can't remember if it was a two-bedroom, three-bedroom. It was five of us in that house. For some reason, I can remember two bedrooms, and there may have been three, but I remember two bedrooms. So anyway, one night, for some reason, again, don't know why, uh, me, my mother, my brother and sister were all, for some reason, sleeping in the living room. I don't know why we were sleeping in the living room. My stepdad was, I'm assuming, working late that night or working out somewhere, but he was working. He wasn't home that night, either way. So we're all sleeping in the living room. My mother was on the couch with my sister, if I remember correctly, and me and my brother was sleeping on the floor. So the house wasn't a big house. It was like, I guess, what you call a patio home. And the way my mother describes it is middle of the night, something woke her up. And as her eyes adjusted to the dark, she saw the chair, the brown chair, and it looked like someone was behind the chair, sort of ducking down and hiding behind the chair. So the way she said it, she called out to me, and my brother, and we didn't answer. And she realized that my sister was sleeping with her on the couch. Now, the way she described it is whatever was hunkered down behind the chair stood up. And as it stood up, its head almost touched the ceiling of the house. And that's when she realized it wasn't none of us, because we're all kids, We're all Ojiman Village. That was we couldn't be no more than 11, 10, 11 years old. For me, my brother would have been maybe 8, 9, something like that. It was in the 80s, mid 80s. So, whatever was behind this chair stood up, and his head almost touched the ceiling. And the way she describes it, then she realized it wasn't one of us, and it actually, before she could figure out what was going on and get herself out of shock, she before she could turn the light on, it actually had walked out of the living room, out the front door. So by the time she turned the lamp on, and here, sure, we were, me and my brother, on the ground, on the floor, sleeping, and my sister was next to her, like I said. Um, she got up, turned the light on, got up, a little lamp by her, the couch, and the front door was locked. But that was the story she told, she told us. Um, Now, I don't know. That house was I wouldn't say it was since I don't live in ghosts, I won't say it was a haunted house, a strange house. It was a strange house. A few of things have happened in the house. Maybe I'll tell some other day, not right now. But It was an old house. We all, again, we all lived in it. Small patio home, right here in Spring Branch, up at Spring Branch, and here in Houston. So, yeah, it was strange. Just one of those weird things. Today, other day, I was it sort of popped in my head about the old brown chair. I'm not sure why. On my job, we have some furniture in there that sort of remind me of the wingback chair. Um, and I guess that memory just sort of came into my head. Story number two actually happened to me. This was a few years later. We no longer lived on Ojiman in that old house. We lived in a house on a street called Early Street, also in Spring Branch. Now that was an old house, a strange house. It had old concrete cinder block walls. Had no AC. Years later, we actually installed a window unit in the kitchen, and I think in my parents' bedroom. I think it was. Yeah. Anyway, but it was an old house, wood floors, old wood floors. It had a flat roof, a flat asphalt roof. Every year we had to climb on the roof and get a rake, and rake the leaves off the roof. And we had a pecan tree in the front yard, and I think an oak tree in the backyard. But we had to pick the oak trees, the acorn to fall on the roof and grow roots. So we had to pick the oak trees off the top of the roof. Just a weird memory. Anyway, though, the old house, didn't have heat, didn't have AC. Originally had a water well in the backyard. I'm not sure when city water was added to the house, but the old well was still back there. The old well and the old pump and everything was still in a garage when we lived there. But anyway, one night, I was in the living room, sitting in the old brown chair, the old wingback chair. And again, I was young, probably early teens, maybe 13, 14. Yeah, something like that. But sitting in a chair, and I remember it was probably midnight, maybe 1 in the morning. Back then, late nights, um, old TV shows like I Love Lucy and the Mayberry Show and Star Treks and all them, they would come on like 12 at night, 1 in the morning, that kind of thing. So for whatever reason, I was sitting up in the living room, watching. It could have been Star Trek. It could have been, who knows, some old TV show. Um, our front door has a door, and then outside of the door, it's a little country. We had a screen door, and most times we would shut that screen door, latch it, a little latch. We latch the screen door, and lock the front door. And even if the screen door wasn't latched, if you open that screen door, anyone who ever lived in the country, when open a screen door, that little spring that keeps the door shut, it makes that little twangy sound. Well, even if you try to open that door slowly, our screen door just twanged. I mean, if that's a word, it twanged pretty loud, and you would hear it. You couldn't sneak into the house through the screen door. Either way, so I'm sitting there watching TV show, sitting in an old brown chair, and I don't remember if it was a noise I heard or what, or I just glanced over at the door. Don't know. I don't remember. Um, but I glanced at the door, and I realized that doorknob was twisting, like someone was on the outside of the house testing and seeing if that door was locked or not, twisting. Now the doorknob would turn, but we had a latch deadbolt. So you lock that deadbolt in the door, you still turn the doorknob, but you couldn't get in the house. And I just sort of had that memory of I didn't hear the screen door open, but the doorknob was, it could have been my imagination. Yeah, it could have been. I mean, it's anything possible. But that doorknob moved. Now, make matters worse, I'm sitting there watching, so I'm seeing the doorknob move. I put my eyes on the TV because we also had a little, it's about that tall, about that wide window, and I didn't want to look up at that window to see if anyone looking back at me. So I put my eyes back on that TV. Now, I don't know exactly what it was, but it was this weird, eerie feeling. And it's we had wood floors in the house. Okay, it was again a center block construction, concrete house with wood floors, and there was a gap under the wood floor before it did dirt. There was dirt. There wasn't a foundation. So if you walk in the house slowly, quietly, whatever, if you walk behind someone, the wood had enough give. You can feel someone walk up behind you. A lot of times you hear the boards creaking and growing and stuff as you walk. Anyway, now to make matters worse, we had a gray cat. Um, that we had gray cat, and the cat was sort of standing by the TV, sort of minding its own business, doing what cats do. And I felt this weird presence behind me, almost like somebody had walked up behind the chair, put their hands on the chair, and was sort of pressing down. Because I could feel the chair, I could feel the floor around me sink. It's a wood floor. It had a little bit of give in it. Now, to make matters worse, I don't know if you've ever seen a cat do a crab walk. Our gray cat, it went complete bushy tail, bushy back, like the Halloween cat, arched back, ears back, and that cat actually crab walked out of the room backwards, sort of pooping on the way out. And what made it even worse is whatever the cat was seeing, it wasn't looking at me, it was looking above me. And I'm sitting there watching the cat pooping, the cat walking backwards on his tippy toes. I'm looking at the TV screen because I'm not stupid. I'm not going to look up and see what's looking at me. I'm looking at the TV screen trying to see if I can see any reflection on the TV screen of what is behind me that the cat's seeing. The cat noped out of that situation. The cat's going somewhere. So whatever the cat's seeing, I'm trying to look on the TV to see if I can see a reflection. I see my reflection on the TV because the TV was, about 10 feet away, across the living room. It wasn't a big house. So I'm looking there, I'm looking hard at the TV, and I just, out of just complete freaking out at this moment in time, I cannot see any. I just couldn't. It probably was, but my brain was not registering. I could not see my reflection. I could not see, and I had this overwhelming urge to get out of that bedroom, get out of the living room as fast as I could. So I'm not. Again, this is years. I mean, years ago. I mean, you're looking at 30 plus years ago. Somehow or another, I was able to transport out of that chair to my bedroom. I don't remember if I ran or walked or I don't remember, but whatever how I got there, I got in that bedroom, and I do remember sort of sitting on the covers, covers draped over me, and just sort of trying to be like a statue. Next morning, I got up, and of course, I cleaned the cat poop off the floor. The cat, whatever the cat saw, it affected the cat more, just as much as it affected me. And that's what sort of freaked me out a little bit because I can understand if I'm sitting there and it's late night and everything, and I feel like something behind me or I feel like something pressed on the chair. It's a feeling. Doesn't mean it's real. It's just a feeling. But the cat's expression tells me that there was something going on that was more just a weird feeling or whatever. So that's a weird memory. It's a weird memory. I'm not sure whatever happened to that couch. I moved out. I left home when I was 17, and not too far after that, my parents, the house was rental house, so they got rid of the house and actually finally bought themselves a little house. We all moved out pretty much. So and so that old brown chair, I'm not sure whatever happened to it. I'm assuming probably it was old. I mean, it was been around since my childhood, and I want to try to find photos of it. I'm not sure if I can because back, I doubt I'm gonna find any photos of this chair. But yeah. Not sure what happened to it. The chair was, as long as I have memory, that chair was, in our living room and stuff. So um, I doubt I have memories. I'm pretty sure it was just out of age. My parents probably threw it away. Don't know. But yeah, that's my that's my scary stories. The two stories for today. Ooh, that's an alligator. Yeah, that's an alligator. About 4 feet long. So it's not too bad. If you're a 4-year-old, it's dangerous. But yeah, if it's adult, not dangerous. Sort of wonder how deep this lake is, because you really can't see it, but that bottom, that the shore just drops off right here. Yeah. Maybe one of these days I'll tell some Choctaw stories. Yeah, like Okanuhulo. We're supposed to live in lakes like this. They'll come and grab you. Yep, time to get here. I feel some raindrops. Hachi Pizza, Lachi Key. And sleep good tonight.